expert. Allan here chatting with actor, storyteller, and comedian Al Madrigal about Lopez versus Lopez. How are you? It's nice to meet you. I'm so excited to chat with you.
I'm doing really well, and I'm excited to that the season is finally starting. We're coming out October 18th, so that is we're here. It's sort of surreal to dream about doing this as a career, and then to be on something like this, sort of talking about this episode coming out, or the season starting. And a season three is like
That's
difficult to
almost
pull.
unheard of in your
Yeah.
business.
No, and what happens when you do give a show a chance to breathe, if you're a TV fan, this happened with Seinfeld and it happened with Everybody Loves Raymond. It's sort of they get moved around a little bit, and they have to find their audience, and they're almost canceled. But now it seems like if you don't have immediate success, you're gone. So it's kind of wonderful to have some success, and then to get the opportunity to stick around, because once you stick around, the show just does evolve and get better, and the writers room gets tighter, and sort of the cream rises to the top in terms of performances and writing, and you really know what this show is, and this show is kind of hitting a stride right now.
Yeah, well, you are certainly no stranger to film and television, and as you have aforementioned, been a part of a lot of different television projects. I mean, I'm Dying Up Here is definitely in my top list for sure, but so many others. I'm interested to know when you get approached for a project like this or are asked to be a part of something, because you are quite busy as a comic and doing other things, what is
Yeah, yeah.
important to you as far as deciding how you're going to commit your time to something, uh, aforementioning all the things that you just talked about that can go into a series and the risk reward factor. I'm interested to know that.
Yeah, well, so I had, little kids in Hollywood, and I a lot of times, with the peaks and valleys that go along with this business financially, you kind of, for the beginning of your career, there isn't a choice. You
Yeah,
just
you're
say
working.
you and take it, and you're working. And aside from, there's some stuff obviously you're not going to do, just to, gigs that even would take you out of the country. So you just have to like look at it and make a choice. But even for the Daily Show, my family was living in Los Angeles. So I got this little family, and I was commuting back and forth. The only reason I really left that show is because I got another opportunity to work on a show, another NBC show called About a Boy with Minnie Driver. That was a Jason Tatum show. And I really was missing my family. So, I mean, you just kind of make the choices as they come. Um, in this case, I'm a lifelong fan of George. I really love the potential of the character. The character has evolved to a place to have a lot of input in the performance and writing of it. The writers are very, flexible and want this to be the best show it can be. So as actors, you're looking for input, and it's a collaboration, and you just hope that there's good people all around. And then this to be on network television in this day and age is insane. There's just, like I said, look at the number of comedies on each network, and you're like, oh my God, you're in a very small group. I think I was listening to a podcast recently where they were saying like this is more difficult than being in the NBA.
Wow. I can believe it. I think it's interesting that you say that because having done this for so long, and as I said, a part of so many different things, like it's a you have a wide variety of choice, especially now with social media and streaming. For you, I would imagine, do you have time to watch other shows and see what's out there, or are you pretty busy, I would assume, and
Oh,
have
I'm a massive fan of TV and film. Like I'm getting together with a group of guys tonight to go watch Joker 2. And this is a Tuesday night. We'll probably be the only ones in the movie theater. But well, I try to see almost everything, and I try to see. I watch a little bit of almost every single show that comes out. So, and then obviously some I stick with, but I love TV.
That's very cool. Well, with season three coming out here, as you mentioned, we're getting to know your character a little bit more. We're getting to see him evolve, as you alluded to. Let us in on, no spoilers, obviously, for people watching and listening. This will be out soon, but like, what are you most excited about for the fans to learn about your character this season that we haven't seen before?
I mean, my character is really a throwback to a lot of old sitcom characters. Like, I mean, if people watch Newhart, and there's Larry and Daryl moments,
Yeah.
and there's Tom Poston was so amazing, and I just love those classic, fourth and fifth on the call sheet sitcom actors, that are able to come in. Like if you're comic relief in a comedy, which my character is, it's a tough job. Because you have to, you're Michael Richards in Seinfeld. You can point to so many different classic sitcom characters where you're coming in and you're almost like other characters have to play the straight man with you when you enter a scene. So it's a very difficult thing to do. And so it's like this Oscar is this throwback sort of sitcom character
Yeah.
that I
He's a lot of fun. It's always fun watching the interaction between you and George and other people that you share scenes with, because it really is. You just mentioned a few names that really are the ringers to everybody else that kind of maybe put you at ease or relieve those moments of tension. And it's funny because it's funny, not because it's ironic, which I think is very cool. Well, I would love to talk to you. You again have done so many different things, but when you started out in this business, doing stand up and other things, was television something that you had aspired to do, or did it happen as a byproduct to your comedy and other opportunities evolved?
I was always such a massive fan of TV. I have distinct memories of watching Ray Romano's set on Letterman where he jingled the keys. And then I was familiar with the fact that he got a TV show shortly after that. And that's how Everybody Loves Raymond was born, as this worldwide pants show. So I was definitely like aware of stand-ups becoming actors. I grew up on a block with other comedians. And TV just sort of found me. I went up to the Montreal Just for Laughs Comedy Festival in 2002 as a new face, and I was cast in a sitcom shortly after that. So it I've always loved acting, but stand up was really, I just wasn't aware that stand up was going to lead to all these other things. I was very naive about show business. I really, nobody in my family was involved in any sort of production or had any experience with this at all. So I'm just sort of figuring it out. And came down here in 2003 and have been lucky enough to pretty much be working ever since. So I'm
Yes.
very happy about that and just love this weird, eclectic career that I've been able to have.
Well, it's been a great one to watch. Again, a fan, have been for a very long time. Al, it's been a pleasure. Congratulations on another season of Lopez versus Lopez. Excited to see how this unfolds. And I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for hanging out a little bit today. It means a lot.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Absolutely. Thank you.